When we tell you to recruit many mentors, that may now sound very scary or imposing, but it really doesn't have to be.
Mentors are relationships that you build over time.
It could be a peer with whom you share information for many, many years, and then all of a sudden you realize you're really mentoring each other, and that's fantastic. It could be an ex-advisor. They're suddenly a fantastic mentor. The silver lining of networking and building scientific relationships is that some of those relationships will turn into really fantastic mentoring relationships. When I say networking, I really mean relationship building, working on things with people, building relationships, staying in touch, meeting new people, and following up with the people with whom you have a connection. One of my big rules of networking is you don't have to network with people you don't like. So it should actually be more natural.
I believe in authenticity as the core part of being able to establish that relationship before anything else. So it shouldn't be networking for the sake of schmoozing. There should be some common interest and a specific reason.
One way that you can identify mentors is to join different societies. All of these different societies bring together scientists who are passionate about very specific fields. And there's a lot of social events in these that will help you connect with people on kind of that deeper level.
There's a lot of different types of student organizations that you could get involved with within your department or within your university. From the beginning of undergrad, I was exposed to and joined SOCNUS, which is the Society for the Advancement of Chicanos and Native Americans in Science. It's a national organization, and they have chapters, overall, a lot of the universities in the USA. And I was able to meet people that may have some shared lived experiences. These organizations, for the most part, are here to help support you and make sure that you're successful and that you feel like you have a community.
Connections to people can be very directed, that you go to a seminar and you find that the research of the person who's presenting is really exciting. And so then you try to go to one of the lunches that might be hosted so that you can interact with that faculty member more. You might meet that faculty member at a conference and say, I heard your talk and I thought it was really exciting. I'm working in this particular area of research and I thought there might be some parallels. These connections can help you in your own research, but they can also be ways of kind of planting connection points that may be useful and serve you in the future.
The biggest networking favor you can do is connect two people who should talk to one another. That's a huge favor, and that will someday come back because someone then will connect you to someone that you need to talk to.
I definitely recommend coffee or video chats. I get those types of requests fairly often now, and I think being direct and concise in those types of messages, especially if it's a cold email, if it's not in person, being straight to the point, letting someone know that you've taken some time to look into their background and maybe one thing about their background or experience that you think ties into what you want to do or what interests you, and then offering some dates and times, and then saying, if these dates and times don't work, please let me know. I love having those conversations, but just make it as easy as possible and as specific as possible.
And perhaps the relationship takes off, or perhaps you just gain some information in those 1 or 2 meetings. You don't need to keep emailing every month that person that you met if you don't have anything to offer or ask of them. But if you have a good question in a way that they can help you, or you have some information that might support them, then of course you should reach out. The role of a mentee is to really come with 2 important characteristics. One is come with questions. The second thing is to be willing to learn. You don't have to follow every suggestion, but you need to listen and weigh the possibility that that might be one way to approach it. building multiple relationships and being open to those relationships is what will lead to the encounters that will eventually lead to strong mentoring relationships.
You won't know unless you try. And oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes people are receptive